I'm Tom, and welcome back to my garage. So here we are, we're on video number 4. I want to thank everybody for tuning in so far, and if you haven't checked out my other 3 videos, head on over to my YouTube channel and watch those videos first. They'll give you a pretty quick rundown on some progress on the camping trailer and how I arrived to where I am today. I wanted to do this update video. I think I'm at a good point now for video number 4 to give everybody that's tuning in a little bit of a rundown on some of the updates since video number 3. If you watched video number 3, you saw that I had the walls of the trailer insulated, and since then I've got the Luan plywood applied on the exterior. It was already applied on the interior in video number 3. I've also started on a lot of the millwork and the cabinetry on the inside of the trailer, as well as for the back galley, and I've got the floors installed in the trailer as well. So if you hang tight and stick around, I'll give you a quick tour of where I'm at and how I got to where I am on the build. So I'm still fairly new at making YouTube videos. I had a couple comments from some people on my previous videos asking for some actual build footage and stuff like that. So I thought I would splice in just a quick little time lapse of me getting the exterior Luan panels on, or at least one side of the camper, getting those Luan panels on. Those got glued and then I tacked them in with staples from my pneumatic stapler. So just a little bit of footage there. Let me know if you guys like that type of thing. I can try and add some more content like that in the future. But I wanted to take you back to the galley here and show you where I'm at with construction on the galley. As you can see, the finishes are starting to take shape on the inside of the trailer, and so far I'm pretty happy with how things are turning out. I have the upper cabinets are basically in, all the plywood to frame those out. I also constructed the face frames for the cabinets last weekend, and I managed to get those installed. This is all 3/4 inch sanded pine that I ripped down to the appropriate size, and then once I got the face frames put together, I just tacked them in with 18 gauge brad nails to hold everything in place, and then I'll get those holes filled and sanded and all that good stuff before I put a coat of varnish on the interior. Yesterday I managed to get the sink installed in the galley. This is a stainless steel bar sink. I actually picked it up from IKEA. I think that was the best price I could find for a stainless steel sink. It was about $50 Canadian, so you can't really beat that. Right here I've got this is actually a laundry type faucet that's threaded. So it does have hot and cold water. I am planning on, hopefully, maybe not right away, but I am hopefully planning on putting hot water, like a propane hot water tank or system, on-demand system for the trailer. So I hope to get that hooked up in the near future when the trailer's done. I also have 2 water jugs for my water system just kind of set in there for right now, just to make sure everything was going to fit properly. Those are by a company called Red Camp. I picked those up on Amazon. They're each about 5 gallons. So I plan on running 1 fresh water and 1 gray water tank that I can drain the sink into one of the gray water tanks if I need to. And then if I'm boondocking or in a backcountry kind of camping area, I was going to put a drain hole with a cover in the bottom there so that I could outlet any gray water just out in the ground or take it away from the trailer somewhere. So I'll probably end up getting that put in at some point, and then in that case I can run 10 gallons of all fresh water. I probably even have room there for another 5 or maybe even a 7-gallon jug, so I can run between 15 and 7 gallons of fresh water in the trailer. I've also got, here's the spot here for the slide out cooler. So I tried to size that for about a Yeti 65 size cooler. I do have the drawer slides for that on order. They're 18-inch drawer slides with a 1-inch over travel, just so I can get the lid up and out of the way as much as possible. So those are on order. Those should be coming here shortly. So I hope to get those and start working on the drawer slide for the cooler. Although I could use it just like this and just slide a cooler in that kind of nook and then take it in and out as I need it. But I do want to get that drawer slide put in. I will be starting on the cabinet doors very soon. I'm thinking of going with like a shaker style cabinet door that I plan on building from scratch. And then I'll likely use the same Luan plywood for the insert panels in those shaker style cabinets so that everything kind of matches and has consistent wood grain within the trailer itself. Couple things I wanted to just point out with the water system. You can see I made sure I had enough clearance here for the drain down to these 5-gallon water tanks, and that'll let me easily get those water tanks in and out from underneath this cabinet, and it'll also allow me to run that drain pipe into one of those containers for gray water in the future when I need to. Another thing I wanted to point out here was this laundry style faucet is threaded so that in the future, if I want to run a shower head, I can just screw in to that threaded portion of the faucet, and I can go outside to the side of the camper and have a shower if I need to. I will be starting to get the trailer wired here for electrical very soon. I wanted to have the millwork and the cabinets more or less built and ready so that I could get all the electrical wires run in the exact locations where I want them. So I did want to get that put in first. One thing that was kind of critical before I started putting the cabinets in is I actually routed out a channel right here in the 3/4 inch plywood bulkhead, and it's maybe only a 1/4 inch deep, but I routed out that channel because I'm going to be running all the electrical from the roof and through this cabinet here. By the time I put the backsplash on, I didn't want any visible wires or conduit or any split tubing or anything like that. I wanted to hide all the wiring that's going to go down under the sink for the water pump. So I routed out that channel so that I could run that electrical wiring down to the pump. I'm also going to be building an outlet box right here that's going to house the switches and the voltage indicator for the battery and the switches for the lighting and the galley. I am thinking about putting 2 pot lights for under cabinet lighting. I might also put a light on the hatch itself, since it is going to open over your head. That might be nice. I'm probably going to wire in or rough it in with some wires to put that in the future. I'm going to see whether it's actually needed once I get the under cabinet lighting installed. But there should be, or I will be putting in 12-volt outlet underneath the cooler, just in case I ever want to run a 12-volt cooler in that spot. So I'm going to put that in just ahead of time so it's there and available. I'm going to be running some USBs back here as well, and then the lighting. And then I did pick up a 1,000-watt inverter, so I am going to be running a 120-volt receptacle back here for the galley. So I'll show some of that stuff in a later video. I have all the electrical components, and I'll walk you through some of the electrical as well in a future video. So here's a shot of the interior of the cabin. I managed to get the cabinets, the upper cabinets installed here inside the trailer against the back bulkhead between the cabin and the galley. I also managed to get the flooring installed. This is a peel and stick, fake wood vinyl type flooring that I got at Home Depot. It actually wasn't too expensive. It was only about $1 something per square foot. So it was actually pretty good, and it looks good inside the trailer. I do need to get some outlet and receptacle boxes built in since all of the wiring is going to be coming from a tongue box. So I am going to be building some switch boxes that are going to go in the corners, and a shelf that's going to be going along this front wall here. Each side will have its own switches, one for the pot lights that are going inside the cabin, and then as well for the porch lights on the exterior, so you can turn those on. I do need to build as well, I'm going to be building a bunk, fold down bunk that goes underneath this cabinet for one of my kids. I do still need to get that fabricated and built up, but that might be something that I save for towards the end of the project. Well, I hope you enjoyed this update video so far. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the project, about the build of the trailer, leave me a comment and I'd be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. I try to get back to all the comments if I can. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.